Break any bad English habit in 10 minutes. You checked your phone before watching this, didn't you? Maybe just one scroll. Or 10. We all do it. I am sitting at an airport cafe as I speak. Around me, people are hunched over their screens. One man laughs at a video. Another taps through photos of his trip. And next to me, a young student opens his laptop to study English. He types, "How to learn fast," into the search bar. Before the first video ends, he jumps to another one, then another. Within 10 minutes, he has consumed a dozen tips, yet learned nothing. I smile, because that used to be me. There was a time when I believed more studying meant more progress. I collected grammar videos like trophies. I filled notebooks with half-learned words. But when a real person asked me a simple question, my mind went blank. I was not learning. I was chasing the feeling of learning. You see, we are not only addicted to social media, we are addicted to the illusion of progress. We love learning, but we fear practicing. We want the comfort of growth without the risk of failure. Welcome to Learn English Listening. I am Lydia. Here we do not collect rules, we live them. We listen, reflect, and practice in real stories that speak to your mind and your heart. Tell me, which city are you joining us from, and what time is it there? I love seeing how far these stories travel. So what if the reason you feel stuck in English is not laziness? What if it is addiction? The kind of habit that hides behind your best intentions? Let's find out together. Because sometimes the hardest habits to break are the ones that look productive. I remember mornings when my screen looked like chaos. 5 open tabs of English tips, 3 podcasts waiting to play, 2 grammar blogs bookmarked for later. I was busy, I felt productive. But deep down, I knew I was running in circles. Have you ever studied all day and still felt like nothing stayed in your head? That was me. I thought effort alone was enough. I believed time spent meant progress made. But I was wrong. My brain was not learning. It was chasing dopamine. Every time we watch another English video, write another list of words, or read another rule, our brain gives us a small reward. It says, "Well done. You are improving." Even if we never speak a word out loud, that tiny reward is the trap. It feels safe. It feels good. But it does not move us forward. It is like running on a treadmill. You move a lot but stay in the same place. You sweat, you breathe hard, but when you stop, you are still right where you began. Do you sometimes feel your English is stuck even though you study every day? Be honest. What if your problem is not lack of knowledge, but too much fake progress? The truth is, our brains love routine. They love anything that feels familiar and safe. Learning by watching, reading, or taking notes feels comfortable. Speaking out loud feels dangerous, so we avoid it. We protect our ego by pretending we are improving. But once you see this pattern, everything changes. You realize your brain is not the enemy. It is simply wired for comfort. All you need to do is teach it a new comfort zone. When I learned that, my frustration turned into curiosity. I stopped asking, "Why am I not fluent yet?" I started asking, "What am I feeding my brain today?" That one question began to change everything. Here is the secret your brain never told you. It hates silence. If you remove one habit, it will immediately look for another to fill the empty space. That is why quitting never works for long. You cannot just stop scrolling or stop overstudying. You must replace the habit. If you always watch 10 English videos a day, watch only one. But then listen to one podcast and repeat 3 sentences out loud. If you usually memorize 50 words, learn only 5 and use them in real sentences. If you normally take notes, record yourself speaking for 1 minute instead. This is how you break the loop. Breaking the loop means escaping the cycle of effort without growth. You are not quitting English. You are choosing a better version of it. Another phrase I love is feed your mind. It means giving your brain something real and nourishing. You can feed it stories, conversations, emotions, not endless tips. When you feed your mind, it grows stronger, not just busier. And finally, practice what you preach. It means do what you say. If you tell yourself you want to speak confidently, then speak, even if your voice shakes. The moment you act on what you say, your brain learns to trust you again. If you could change just one learning habit this week, what would it be? Would you stop collecting grammar rules? Would you stop translating every word in your head? Would you spend 10 minutes each morning simply listening without fear? You do not need to study harder. You need to study more like a human. Learn in ways that breathe, move, and connect. Because English is not a subject. It is a language meant to be lived. There was a morning when I almost gave up again. After weeks of listening practice, I fell back into my old habit. I opened YouTube and spent 2 hours watching grammar tips I had already learned, and it's already learned. When I finally stopped, I felt guilty. I thought I had failed again. But then I laughed, because I realized something simple. Relapse does not mean failure. It means I care enough to keep trying. We are human. We fall. We repeat mistakes. But every time we rise a little wiser. The goal is not to never fall. The goal is to shorten the distance between falling and getting back up. There is a phrase in English, fall off the wagon. It means to return to an old habit you tried to quit. Everyone does it. The key is what comes next. Another phrase says, get back on track. It means to return to your right direction after a mistake. That is where growth lives. So if you catch yourself watching too many English videos again, or translating every word in your head, do not panic. Just smile. Say to yourself, I fell off the wagon. Now I get back on track. That one sentence can save you from guilt and bring you back to action. What habit do you always fall back into? Is it the fear of speaking? The need to study more before you dare to try? Write it below. You might find someone with the same struggle reading your words and feeling less alone. Fluency does not come from perfection. It comes from forgiveness. The moment you forgive yourself, your brain relaxes. And a relaxed brain learns 10 times faster than a tense one. Progress is not about never falling. It is about standing up faster each time. Imagine your English like a small plant. You cannot shout at it to grow. You cannot pull its leaves to make it taller. You water it. You wait. You trust. That is how habits heal. Replace 10 minutes of scrolling with 10 minutes of listening every morning. Nothing extreme, no grand promises. Just one quiet change repeated daily. You will start to notice something shift. The same dopamine that once came from social media will begin to come from progress. The sound of your own improvement becomes the new reward. Your brain will resist at first. It will whisper, "This is too slow. Go back to what feels easy." But keep watering the plant. Keep showing up for yourself. The brain loves repetition, and soon this small act becomes your new comfort zone. Healing your learning habit is not about quitting everything. It is about choosing better things to love. Choose listening instead of scrolling. Choose speaking instead of worrying. Choose one real conversation over 10 motivational videos. Fluency does not come from pressure. It comes from peace. When you treat your mind with kindness, it begins to bloom. And what grows is not only better English, it is a better you. Right now, you stand at a small crossroad. One path leads to endless scrolling, endless tips, endless noise. The other leads to quiet progress, fewer things, deeper focus, real results. You already know what to do. You have seen how your brain tricks you with fake progress. You have learned how to replace the habit, not just erase it. You have learned to accept your relapses as part of the journey. Now the question is not whether you can change. The question is whether you will choose to. At this moment, you stand between comfort and growth. Which path will you take? If this story touched you, share it with someone who is trying to learn better, not harder. Leave a comment and tell me which habit you will replace this week. And subscribe to Learn English Listening, where English feels alive, not forced. Together, we grow one story at a time. Fluency is not far away. It is already waiting inside your daily choices.